Masters of the Martial Arts Historical Video Series Collector's Edition, Part 2, Volume 1. Gichin Funakoshi. Universally known as the founder of modern-day karate, Gichin Funakoshi, father of the Shotokan system, was born in Okinawa in 1868. Funakoshi's first martial arts instructor was Yasutsuno Azato, with whom he trained while in primary school. In 1902, Funakoshi's karate demonstration for the Commissioner of Schools, Shintaro Ozawa, led to the introduction of karate into the physical education programs of several schools. He was responsible for the propagation of karate throughout Okinawa and the world. And in 1913, he formed a team of martial artists to travel across Okinawa to demonstrate the art. The team was compiled of many renowned karateka, including Choki Motobu, Kenwa Mabuni, and Chotuko Kayan. The first national sports exhibition in 1922 in Tokyo to publicly display karate jutsu. While in Japan, Funakoshi was introduced to Jigaro Kano, the founder of judo, who asked him to demonstrate karate at the Kodokan. Funakoshi's friendship with Kano grew, and they exchanged many ideas between the two arts. Kano adopted many techniques from karate jutsu for use in the judo system, and Funakoshi utilized Kano's ranking system for recognizing a student's qualifications and abilities. In 1933, Funakoshi changed the concept of kara from its original meaning of China, written in Chinese characters, to empty, and had it redrawn with Japanese characters. Next, he replaced the jutsu with do or wei. Hence the term karate do, or empty hand wei, was born. This name change was due in large part to Funakoshi's philosophical convictions associated with martial arts. In Tokyo in 1936, at the age of 68, Funakoshi established the Shotokan, the world's first freestanding karate dojo. Shotokan means Hall of Shoto, and Shoto was actually the name Funakoshi used when signing his poetry. In 1955, Funakoshi was head of the first dojo of the Japan Karate Association until his death in Tokyo 2 years later. Funakoshi and his teachings influenced many prestigious martial artists, both directly and indirectly, including the aforementioned Jigaro Kano, Wado Ryu founder, Hironori Otsuka, Kyokushinkai founder, Matsutatsu Oyama, and Shito Ryu founder, Kenwa Mabuni.
This is on Gichin Funakoshi, and this is the karate tape on Gichin Funakoshi, as well as the 1956 video of the JK. David, what can you tell us about this tape on Gichin Funakoshi and the rarity of this tape?
It's very rare. I practiced karate for 25 years, and in the last probably 4 or 5 years, doing in-depth study into Funakoshi and the roots of Shotokan karate. And as far as I know, I've talked to many historians from England, from Japan, and here in America. Nobody had this film. So this film is very, very rare. I'm not exactly sure of the time frame, but we're looking at a date from approximately about 1949 to about 1955, in that time frame. Maybe we could pinpoint that. However, what you are seeing is a man who is in his 80s performing Iban Kumute, or one-point sparring. It's from 2 angles, and you can see very, very clear that Funakoshi is very, very exact. Okay. And one of the things that you'll notice is that Funakoshi stances, they're much more natural, approximately shoulder length apart. In karate, changed a bit after his death and got longer, but you're going to see Funakoshi, how he taught his karate. One interesting thing about this tape, where you see Funakoshi, he had a very, very strong grip. You notice that when Sensei Obata is punching in, Funakoshi parries the blow, but he's either got a hold of the wrist or the gi. He's like, just pulls him a little off balance. Funakoshi was very short in stature, even for Okinawan standards. He was, at best, 5 feet tall, 135 pounds at best. Sensei Obata was quite bigger, and many of Funakoshi's students were bigger than him. After all, he taught some American GIs. But you can notice that he could get inside of them. He would parry the blow, he would have this person off balance, and fire a very fast punch. What makes this tape extraordinary is that, again, when you start to look at people of his age in this era that can, walk or move around as agile as Funakoshi. This is what, all those years of karate training has done for him. And all those years date back to when he was a youth in Okinawa. Since Funakoshi was born premature, his date is a little obscure. For the record, they say he was born November of 1868. He altered his birthday to say 1970 so he could take some examinations to get into a medical college in Tokyo. And so he had to do that. So a lot of people say it was 1870, but it actually was 1868. He died April 26th in 1957. So that brings him up close to 90 years old, 89 years old. When you go back to Okinawa, when Funakoshi was raised, his father was of Shizuzuka, I'm not sure of this pronunciation, of samurai class. He was of samurai class, so there was a little bit status quo on Funakoshi's family. There was also a name change. I believe that Funakoshi's real name was Tomonagoshi, but was later on changed to Funakoshi. In any case, Funakoshi at a young age was taught the Chinese classics, and that's important because most Okinawans didn't have the opportunity to be educated. Work was very, very important. So Funakoshi was able to get an education at an early age, mostly through his grandfather.
Okay, and what was his relationship with the other masters of the other disciplines in Japan?
Okay, moving on. Funakoshi's major instructors, or two that he talks about, is Asato and Itoso. Okay, Itoso had other students, people like Miyagi Chojin, the founder of Goju, a legend in his own time. And if I could take just a minute to talk about Miyagi Chojin was recognized as probably the most powerful individual. His physical strength was probably the highest of like people like Ken Wamabuni and Gichin Funakoshi. He was a very, very powerful man, a wealthy man. And Ken Wamabuni, also a student of Itoso. Now, don't forget that these guys had trained with other people, Matsumura, Higaonna, a lot of different influence. But the relationship that the three of them had was very, very cordial and very like dojo brothers. I think that they, at that time, when the three of them didn't have a particular style. They just were studying Tote or Rokyu, Kempo, whatever they were calling it back then. It wasn't really called karate then, yes and no. But the three of them shared a common interest, and that was to train in karate and to hopefully to introduce karate to the world, because they believed that they were trained warriors. Now, what that meant was that the three of them believed that it was like if you gave somebody a gun, that gives you a lot of power, okay? You can do two things. You can have the gun for peaceful purposes, and you can have the gun to take the life. The way they trained was almost the same thing. They had the power to take a life, and they had the power to use it for defense only. The three of them had that consensus amongst them. And so with that, they kind of had the same philosophies. So I believe that, and many, many references, when you talk to Goju people about Funakoshi, those who were around at that time have much respect for one another. I think that like modern day times, Goju people stick with Goju, Shotokan sticks with Shotokan, Shintaro sticks with, beliefs of Ken Wamabuni. But back in their days, when you ask about the three of them, they had tremendous harmony amongst each other, and they worked out with each other.